So, going into this week's episode of the Pupil's Wise Man, my one goal for this week's episode was just to kind of wash away what my pre existing thoughts of the anime was. And the reason being is because I'm going to be reviewing each of these episodes kind of until we get to the end this season. I didn't not enjoy this anime as much as a couple of other ones this season. So this was still going to end up being one of the ones I covered all the way to the end. But there's two things that I did differently this week than I have in the past weeks while watching the Pupil of the Wise Man. The two things that I did was just try and go in with a positive mindset, just like, turn my brain off, let me just go in and enjoy it. The second thing I did is instead, and I know you guys are going to hate this, but instead of watching the subbed version, I watched the dubbed version because it is on Funimation. Reason being is my Funimation, for whatever reason, because I had just gotten done watching another anime for the review, but my Funimation, which was Genius Prince, because you guys should go watch my review of that this week, but when I clicked the Pupil's Wise Man, it naturally just, put it in English instead of Japanese. And I was like, F it, I'm just going to watch it like that. And you know what? I kind of enjoyed it more. I don't know why. I think the VA, the voice acting, I thought was pretty good on both scenarios. I thought the Mira's character, I thought was pretty good. I liked her supporting characters. The very quirky, erotic elf that's there. I liked her. I like her voice actor quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. So I was color me pleasantly surprised. I actually did enjoy this week's episode. It was silly. It picked up right where we got left off on last week, which was them exploring the dungeon. They found a castle. Mira needed to pee. She had a panic attack. She went to go pee in a urinal. The elf got all hot and bothered. And she then faced a demon where she used not earth. Man, I ruined the joke already. I'm sorry, guys. Where she used airbending. Maybe you laugh at that. But where she used airbending. And I was like, okay, let's go. She also did a little Kamehameha little airwave thing. And she had an evil eye. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I actually kind of enjoyed this episode quite a bit. It wasn't the unenjoyable mess that I thought last week's was. And I think when the anime focuses, when the anime just does stuff and doesn't want us to take it seriously, because I feel like the anime's been asking us to take it really seriously, that's when it loses me, is because of all the stuff that was going on before. Why has it been 30 years? Your friends are there, but are they still in the VR? Were they reincarnated? Have they not investigated in 30 years? 30 years is a long effing time. Have they not investigated at all as to why this happened? There's so many plot holes and unanswered questions and just really shit pacing that it kind of ruined the anime a little bit. But if I just turn my brain off and I say, you know what? I'm not going to worry about any of that. The anime is not asking me this episode to take it seriously. It's just watch this little girl do airbending and some Street Fighter moves. And I'm like, yes, do that. I immediately have a better time. And I think this episode is pretty good. I think this was probably one of the better episodes so far. I think episode 1 sucked. I thought episode 2 was okay. I thought episode 3 was horrible because of all the plot holes. I think episode 4 was okay. I think it was pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I suggest for you also, I'm going to say, watch the dub. Try watching the dub. I think it was a much better time. I was able to I ordered Panda Express today. I ate my Panda Express as I was watching it. And as I was eating my little piece of orange chicken, I went, ha, ha, ha. And I continued eating my chicken, So I was like, it was good to where I could eat and I didn't have to read, because I don't understand Japanese, unfortunately. Oni-chan, I can, a little couple of words, but other than that, you know what I mean? There's not really, I can't understand it, you know what I mean? I have a book over there on my bookshelf was how to read Japanese. I've been studying for years. I know nothing. So for me, it's easier to absorb, on the dubbed, especially while eating and not taking it seriously. So I suggest you guys do that too. That's really all I have. I mean, there wasn't a lot that went on in this episode. It was a much more enjoyable time. Turned my brain off. I was positive, and I watched the dubbed. Those are the things I did differently this week, and I farly, that's not a word. I far more enjoyed this week's episode, and I had a much better time watching it. And I can say I'm looking forward to the next episode now, as to where last week I could not care less if this next episode came out or if it existed anymore. And I don't think that's the case now. And I think I'm going to continue watching the dubbed and eat lunch while I watch it. And I think that's going to be the power play. And I think that's what we go with. But again, much more enjoyable time this week. It's not great. It's still like a 6 or 7 anime. It's not like fantastic, but I had a much better time watching the silliness. And I think if they go more towards the silliness versus like trying to tell us what's going on in this world, I think we're going to be in a much better situation. That's all I have. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys have watched the dub yet. If you haven't, go watch it. Then come back. Let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. But other than that, I'll catch you guys next week for episode number 5. Deuces.